Hello everyone and welcome back. So in this particular video, Mr. Val really gave insight of the insecurity that is going on in the Southeast, especially in Anambra. I have seen a lot of people coming out to say that Soludo is working, especially when it comes to infrastructure. That challenges Soludo government is facing is insecurity. Apart from that, Soludo is doing well. And now people are asking, with all this building of roads and all that, who are those people that are going to be enjoying all this? And then why is people running away from your state? No one is coming to invest. So what is the need of all this building of roads if the life of people are not secured? And this is the reason why Nigeria Constitution said that the primary duty of any government is the security of people and properties. So any government that fell insecurity, then that government have already failed, and this is exactly what is happening in Anambra State. And the worst part is that the kind of silence and then, not too much concern from the governor, it is really, really worrisome. So let me allow you guys to listen and hear everything Mr. Val said in this particular video concerning the insecurity that is going on in the Southeast, especially in Anambra State.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year. Good to have you here, finally. We've been looking forward to this.
It's my pleasure. Dalo.
All right. I have also. So somehow, all the emotional, but at the same time, I understand that you are the kind of person that deals with facts because you have functioned in the finance sector for some time. So, and they always say, when you want to understand what is going on, you follow the money. So I get a lot of that in this conversation. But can you go with the basics? The basics. Looking at what is going on so far, Nali Igbo right now, especially in Anambra State, what is the case if name with confusion? In a kata, they call if I name, and there's a cobron can on cousin name, or there's a candidate America, but the killing, the kidnaps, the criminal activities at the high level I forgo now. I don't think it has ever happened before in this part of the country and this part of the world. So far, all this if now there's so much blame to go around. Some are looking at the agitators, some are looking at other elements, and they call to different kinds of elements. Some even have the notion that this has some political connections and undertones. I had a rush of which one is it? But the question actually with the obvious question, bro, who do you think are the culprits, really?
Umunem Dalo. I'm very happy, Nabania. This is my first time actually joining this money show. So I want to thank you, Kunie, Adora, and Ndos Agassi, and all our listeners, Biko Dalono. Honestly, I wish Nine Agba a different kind of Nkata Nabania. I wish Nine Bakol here, Neku, kedu ihe anyị ga-eme ka anyị chụkọta ndị gafere anyị? Kedu ihe anyị ga-eme ka anyị bụrụ a center of excellence when it comes to artificial intelligence? Kedu ihe anyị ga-eme ka anyị nwee ike empower more youths so that they can do more magic in the fields like agriculture and entrepreneurship and what have you? Kedu ihe anyị ga-eme ka anyị nwee ike bụrụ ndị ejizi amatụ ka esi bụ amatụ with Anambra State? Negode to Anambra dịbụ before. Akwa na obodo Zik ka a na-ekwu maka ya. Obodo Chinua Achebe ka a na-ekwu maka ya. Obodo Ojukwu ka a na-ekwu maka ya. Obodo ndị dị ike, oh my God. Ụmụnne m, mana bụrụ nkata anyị bịara n'abalị a. Ha anyị na-ekwuzi bụ na abụzi the doldrums, ejizi anyị aka ọnụ, anyị wabụzi worst afọ. Anọ na-agba anya mmiri. Our home, in fact, the decadence is unprecedented. On a ewute, alo melo. And I first go on call. And it's shocking because Gosiaga, and what could any hope in sight? A board now, okay, nature not get Benata is a hopeless case. It is that bad. It is troubling. It's just a matter of who is going to be the next victim. And when you become the victim, nobody's coming to your rescue. Just pray to God that now not us ego can analog yourself. Analog ego, no matter the amount, just go and give testimony. That's how we've been reduced to. Animal kingdom. Cannibalism has taken over. And so to talk about who the culprits are, there's enough blame to go around. I usually don't wallow in blame game. But there be Jolunga Zagi. I wallow many places and people to resort to when it comes to blaming. Nkebe eziokwu bụ na everything usually boils down to failed leadership. When it was on Gisikuya. Because all leadership gabo, after ihe mgbe ọ na-ebido, enipo ya in the board. All leadership mellow. Na ebe ọzọ jikalụ makala ebe ọzọ. Because o nwerekwa ihe na-eme. Ihe wutalụ m bụ, I was listening to a video from the current governor. Mgbe o jelu full the Anglican leadership ha nọ retreat na Holy Trinity Onitsha. This was just a few days ago. And in his own mind, the blame should go to the church and to the IPOB agitators. There could be some truth in that, but that's a little part of it. As a matter of fact, it's unfortunate that now any no self or what couldn't cause to go blame on where leader Ainwalo, number one citizen, the chief security officer. It was the Mekoni no one, even they my no. But now, na enyeghị responsibility ihe dịzie so bad ị just kwụọ aka pilot si ike agwụgo ga-ede emezi ka iche onye ọzọ mana mba I is so shameless that even the leader gabụ more than any other person responsible because they'll shift the blame to other people, and that's what we are facing today. And the only time we can solve any problem is when you introspect and assume responsibility. Man ka abụrụ dị nke gị self iwelie na nke gị. It's only when you do so that you are able to then figure out how to get out of the problem. So, nsogbu anyị na-enwe bidogodolo na anyị nwere failed leadership across board, a cumulative effect of leadership failures from Kemegodolo, particularly even from the country as a whole, and then down to the southeast as a region, and then down to Anambra. Because each year, mgbe ọbụla ịfụlụ leadership. I when issues, Basalo go to my election. So from there, if we wrong people in leadership who are not showing the right character, compassion, capacity, and when the compassion unable to have it, what is the ego government, ego public? Now, ndi madolo. If you fail to do this, and then next thing you see is Mandela Chola Mamutolo. A man created a competitive environment for private sector to thrive. A man and eventually it boils down to the level of decadence we're talking about. And then if you also don't arrest this at the family level, when we start to lose our family values, now nwere ozi ihe na-ebozi alụ n'ụwa na ịbụrụ nne na nna ịma njuzi nwa gị ajụjụ nwa m ebee ka isi ebee ka ego asị abịa. And when we start to celebrate things that are not ought to be celebrating, instead of celebrating the right values, ihe eji malụ anyị nwa enwere ihe ejikwa malụ everybody. Kedu ihe dị na DNA anyị ka ihe eji malụ anyị bụ ịgba mbọ ịlụ ọrụ aka ime ihe anyị na-eme ya ndị na-agba mbọ abụrụ ndị a na-celebrate ndị na-enye impact na society abụrụ ndị a na-celebrate abụrụ ndị mara ebe ego ha si. So when all of that begins to happen, they all begin to coalesce. Mana, at the end of the day, and there's also a part about this agitation I know. Yes, I nwere genuine agitators, ndị feeling na ihe a na-eme ndị Igbo adịsịrọ mma, ndị si na ka enwee referendum, ọ bụrụ arụ isi na mmadụ chọọ referendum. Mana in the process, or this is uncontrollable. You got footing the pure criminals leveraging this, lowers the allo iche. Na-egbuzi ndị igbu mmadụ abụrụzia order of the day. Mostly had is the blood letting follow. So ma na-eme ihe dị etu a, guns are now in wrong hands. And initially, even the community would justify what they're doing. From there, abasing to all this idolatry. It just look kita. I'm not calling more here. I talk the locals. A do honey. Once only get kumoku. I feel had to go bound by the head to honey. My name is the alo name. For now, it creates an economy of atrocity. It was a full-fledged economy. Ebe Giallo Wekulo. So there's enough blame to go around. My church leaders, my Iwabo citizens, Adekwoku, my security agents who are failing their duties. But in all this, the biggest blame about leadership. Because non-leadership bụ ndị ga-achọpụta na ihe dị etu a na-achọ ime wee gbawazie ọsọ nipue again. And mgbe anyị ga-abanye into the discussion, you begin to see when we draw parallels, ị na-ajụ onwe gị ajụjụ, kedụzi ihe melụ anyị nwe na-agbabụ first na agbazi last within the same region. Ewelụzie ihe dịka Enugu welu Abịa na ama atụ ha nchakwa ndị Igbo ofu ihe supposedly ị na-eme some agitation ma ka ezi emelụ ndị ọzọ jikala anyị mma and ka ezi emelụ that na ihe mekwuwe sef onwesikwa ebe a na-akpọkwulu ọsọ onwekwuru phone number to call onwekwuru there's no motivated team onwere ebe a na-agbaje because there has been an abandonment of responsibility. So I believe that the real solution will come when we assume responsibility, particularly those in leadership, because that's where solution can begin. There's no other place. Even if you want to change the issue of family values, we've got to inspire the leadership. Dalo.
Darwin. I just can plug into what you just said now. Imago, eziokwu bụ na ọdụrọkwana etu Anambra before. Enwere in fact all the common body the worst na Enugu State. But in Azania now, the state, all the cast na the states nwere the new governors. Now can already more than 2 years. Look at the 2 years seem to have to a large extent taken control of the situation in their own states. So and now one does it Kezika I think because of more experience who have been around for longer time. How come they are struggling? Like, what are we missing from their end? What exactly is the struggle? And what do you think they should be doing now to catch up?
My dear brother, Kunia, he can pull in the 2 years, 1.5 years, and all that. Jegodo Edo State. Onye self no mara asụ oyibo. Onye a na-akọ ọnụ all the time. Jegodo for you on emego in the last 2-3 months. If we go to seriousness, I feel that now here but the issue. Now, and that one I had a nelu anya mgbe ụfọdụ. We don't really ask the right questions and do the right things, and eventually, I chaba eba blame. The starting point of this thing, Bokwane, who is the leader? Kedu the character of the leader? That's the starting point. Onye nọ n'ọchịchị ọ bụ ezigbo mmadụ? Zakene no majujua. That's the starting point. Because when you want to approach equity, you must do so with clean hands. Mana ibulu ajọ mmadụ, ajọ ihe ga na-eme around you. And this is why, even in the Bible, Proverbs 29:2, it's only when good people, righteous, godly people, they compassionate, I dare say people, they emotionally intelligent, when they are in power, that's when the people will rejoice. Because if we hear me too, ha ga na-agbaghalị ka a stọpụọ ya. Mana ife onye Barbara is arrogant. He doesn't really care. And that's why if we have or think it's so clear why the others are succeeding and we're failing. Na ihe mee tu a na ịnụ na-ejelu gbaba igwe ọkụ kịta na lilu maọbụ iseke gọvanọ amanjedi visit yes hi ka etinye nke a si mee a ga-achụle ndị melie na gbawa mbọ So you've got to be the right person. Before I get into getting in there, Manaka move for on according Qatar. The effort and mind will go into discussing intellectually. And that's the mistake we make. Okay, can you get me? Can you get me? I'm happy that we're starting from this, but why are the other people doing better? Because Ninaiba are a better human being. Simple. Now, let's now come to the issue of interest, political will, the issue about strategy. And icheta onwere mgbe njelu mee this wake up series na-ekwu maka ihe na-adịghị eme ọfụma na-eme emphasize on this insecurity. If you still go to my YouTube handle and listen to that Mr. Adrentam interview na Arise. Mana mgbe m kwụsịrị ya, they sent one of Biobolu and some other people had Jenem attack. Kedu ihe a na-ekwu? Na m aghọtara ihe a na-ekwu. Na demand ndị Anambra bụ road. So na isi adịrọkwa ndị a mma. So ha mara ọ dị na insecurity bụ our number one priority. So are they what they as a priority? And that's why today not a single vehicle has been bought for any security agency in Anambra State. Na ijekwu ndị DSS na-akpa nkata with them alụ, ijekwu ndị police asị gị afọrọ, ijekwu ndị army, ndị navy, ndị air force, nothing. Even ndị vigilante ọbụ set up. I feel na even the truth of the matter is that we are totally unserious, and this is not being political. I am ashamed, I'm embarrassed by the response we've given to this most important issue. Ihe anyị makwa, Governor Nonwe was even a victim. Actually, Igbo man a campaign. Now his own House of Assembly member murdered, the head hung. Each one, Onyaga Buzoputara Ozigbo, Otiwengu, he ignored everything up to this day. Today, Kakane Akbankata, it will see what some dilapidated vehicles. Meanwhile, just within 2-3 months, a dog governor, Jeff Wihon and Megodu, if you simply set up a proper command and control center with all the right tools and communication gadgets, and in way you can so you can get actionable intelligence. India, I suppose Anambra supposedly the center of excellence about Makahia. I can supposedly in yellow doors that I be Igbo. This is where it ought to happen. Open a meteor of meteor. Back here up with political will. Na-enwezi mechanism for what I call whistleblowing. Ihe mere etu a egwe onye akpọ policeman money and who came to my house. Now I debate this thing. We were able to come to the same conclusions. Mana onwe ebe oje na-aga. Now the locals bụ the problem. Na ndị a na-abụ ha bịa self ka ha gbaghalịa jewe ka ha nweta intelligence. Ị ga-afụ a kidnapper now ọ gbafee through this road. Ibeze chụba ndị agha ka ebe asị ka ebe agba ha chakpachi nkịtị. Say my why? Because they don't trust you guys. Because how much money how much was part of the kidnapping? In fact, are you telling me some of you are not even part of it? So what am I saying to you? Now Obolo na I desio bodo power by Koselegba, desio nodun, a power team that can be trusted. Wolo ne promote herself. Government gets ne queer confidence at Biagodu. And when something happens, and then now a reaction, a response from the leadership, you will see confidence restored. This is my neighbor. All the suspicious. When you see something, you say something. When we create that culture, and are they protected? And money it's all going to happen. And to bring this again to summary, I had a sit down with Governor Alex Oti a few months ago, and we had this discussion at his house. So enjoy Keriko Seme, Basalo insecurity. This is again summarizing him now. So in my Hogwalum, that you cannot kidnap in Abia State and go free. On some instances, 2 instances, what had happened and how they followed through. He didn't say you can't kidnap in Abia. You can, but he said that you will not go free. He gave me instance how cases happened and they followed through until they were able to even arrest kingpins in the Lagos. Indeedly, remotely associated in sense because hand on ground, but they were able to track them, got them arrested. And by the time you do this to first, second, third, ndoza agbawala also. Ihe a na-emezi ebe a chekie, ebe a feeling na governance the weak, leadership the weak, they go there and concentrate. Anambra is the haven today because we are weak in leadership. Simple and straightforward. So, Njoya, how did you do it? How did you get to this point of unraveling every single situation that happened? Simply because they were able to assemble a team of security personnel. They got them properly trained, properly trained. They actually get them well remunerated. They actually challenge them that now any case you resolve, you solve, and when something in it for them, you charge them with performance. Performance driven environment can do magic. And these people want all the tools and gadgets because these guys are not sophisticated. They're very crude in their approach. They leave trails. The monies are even paid through the banks. They go to ATM, they do transfers. So you can track these guys if we're serious. But we are not serious. So this is how serious people are doing. And this video, an audio that has gone viral from Monso and the gentleman that was a victim, how we had to go to Governor Mba to track what happened in Anambra State and how they were able to, they even were telling us what to do, and our own team were not. Because, and what's even shocking, how some people came for us. Some people actually were sent from Abuja to support Anambra security during this period. But when they came into Anambra, they couldn't get money for fuel. Fuel in Kitikwa, ha back and ha, now Abenna all kinds of rappers there. I did such I know in such a hopeless situation. So this is why other states are performing better than us because we are seen as the weakest link in our southeast, and that's why we have become the headquarter for ransom payment, headquarter for banditry and kidnapping and murder and bloodletting. We've become the headquarter for everything that is evil.
All right. Before I move on to my co-hosts, I want to ask question that will address that will be directed to your profession now, as someone in the finance sector. What is your assessment of the 2024 Anambra State budget performance, especially as it relates to security? Because I mean, if any new ever be fake game, not wonders ma opportunity na ego odro ka na ewe ejiros ego mee ife eji ego eme if as na eji ego mee na the budget.
My dear brother, I don't want us to reduce this into an intellectual conversation. I brought ihe abịalụ n'abalị a. Ihe abịalụ here bụ ka anyị gwa onwe anyị eziokwu. Onye ọbụla m answer to your question even before you ask. It has never been a money thing. Why in the I made another video. Ebe m gosi that na 480 billion bụ ihe passed through aka current governor within the first 30 months. First 2.5 years, 487 billion naira. Combination of the federal allocation, the local government allocations, and the IGR, internally generated revenue, totaling this amount of money. So the ego batagolo naka Soludo, okale ego batalo, both P2B and OB are not combined during the same period of time. So it's not a money thing. Ihe a na-ekwu bụ na akpọrọ ya mkpa, akpọrọ ya nwere interest na ya. After all, every month we hear that over 1.5 billion is taken away as security vote. Mana gịnị ebe kedu ndị a na-eke the money after all? So, and then if you listen to the audio, there's a video from the House of Assembly member representing Oka South 1, Nigeria, Henry Mbachu. Are they possible? Because get that video, play it here. They did a budget review and they were shocked that Homeland Security, that the government established themselves, we never had such, department, but government established it. Guess how much had been channeled through that Homeland Security? Zero. So it's not important. And they have come out even to say that the camp of road. Because road baby says Zori, MS security vote is Zulunka. I lost some road and went some kickbacks in the road. And that's what is going on. I am a big Anambra. I have asked for government to account for what they're doing. I had to place a value to some of the road that now you see a basic remaining more than half of the money. A basic I am around. Because I actually want to say that it is about ịkpọ ihe mkpa. It's about ịbụ ezigbo mmadụ. It's about ịmakwu what to do. And it's about ige ntị for ndị mmadụ ka akọọlụ gị maka ma emegwuru onye ma ihe niile. When we have all this done, and then this is why I put out 5 recommendations just yesterday. Just yesterday, if you go to my Twitter handle and Instagram and all this, you see this is me just thinking, how do we solve this problem? As now, the first thing I get able, can we can a proper security summit where everybody, there are key stakeholders who come together, whether the current governance team or the opposition, whether the church leaders or even the security agencies, whether those who are agitating or those who feel that they have other roles to play, whether it's in the military, police, civil defense, hunters, let's come together and convocate a proper security summit, moment of truth. Take care, actionable steps that will help us to redeem and restore the dignity of man in Anambra State. I may say, can I make it sure they equip the security agencies properly? Ha niile inwe ihe niile kwesịrị iji na-alụ ọrụ, my vehicles, my communication gadgets, my bulletproof vests, all of these things, just to make sure they are in the right frame of mind. Because in Keto, they need to be well motivated to do this job. They need to be well motivated. Obu no nwalo, only trust her. Tell the IG to replace. Tell the chief of army staff, tell whoever to replace, to make sure you have the right team here. All here people be mellow. And Melia, he also came down to the issue of the local. How do we get the locals to be part of this? Where we are charging the Igwes, the town unions, and can handle part of this. Create here a robust architecture that bring all this together, and then have a massive empowerment framework for the youths. Can the Umaka for a call or for alternative? Make here about the uncomfortable for criminals. Don't make them to rest here. Kita have all the audios to put that go not go up to 5 or 6 different audios from kidnapped victims and they opu na bro hama bro munha. If these guys operate like there is nobody, that they go unfettered. They can operate at any time of the day, and they can storm. They can spend time. They can hag a video. Jaya go to phone will see phone will na because ngoro na abia echoha. So oyampo alone mezikita. So, but if you do what I'm talking about now, Anambra will become uncomfortable. And we will not even limit it to Anambra. We'll take it to the rest of the Southeast, integrate this thing so that Opronke Gabusi, Chuhan Anambra, Abajimo, Chuhanimo, Abaje, Bodimba, make it uncomfortable. And forget Ebonyesi. Same Mesne or Fulani from Ebony, from Aimuku, Mandi Anambra, Naruala. Igafu, Ndogidi, Hamuke, Jenuke, Nduke, Jenu Moji, Numuagasi, Jenagot, etc. Aimugasili, because Brugo is thriving business for them. But we've got to make it uncomfortable. We can actually even go further. Nothing stops us from, purchasing, acquiring proper drones to monitor these things, and even go to the camps, these bushes. You can do a lot more things. Now open like this, but when we sit down as security-minded people, we can solve this problem. When on a Transcorp, Mbahaka, and then all kinds of bomb going off in the northern part of Nigeria. And we saw that every single case, Neme, even in Kano, will affect our business. We had to do a lot of things to make the place a hard target. We had to work with the Israeli embassies, the US embassies, the UK embassies, and we got our people well trained. We did a lot more things that I can't speak here, up here. And so the place got fortified. And so when foreign presidents are visiting, they send the advance team to check the quality of security preparation. They usually get impressed. That's why the place was hosting all manner of presidents, all manner of people know from British crew, British Airways crew to Emirates crew. All of these people will not go to any place half-really porous. So what did we do in those places? We did a lot of things. We can replicate all these things in Anambra. And this is precisely what Governor Mba is doing. This is precisely what Governor T is doing. We can replicate this here, and you will see. And when one night we can join governors because this is not just about me, Valos, but wanting to take over. No, I want a better Anambra even before I take over. It is important that we cop this in ball because it is hurting everybody. Today, Adekuzoku businesses, nwekwuru onye ị ga-afụ ndị na-azụ ahịa na Onitsha ha si Asaba agbabata Chineji ha gbana even ha na-agbana sef egwu na-atụ ha na-agafere na briji isiri na Asaba na-agbata Onitsha obi a na-amapụ gị isiri Onitsha na-agbaji Asaba heave a sigh of relief. What is all this nonsense?
Phil, are you here? Okay. Very soon we'll be taking questions from the speakers.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Before we move to the speakers and take their questions.
Awesome. From Priscilla, no, she opened her mic, then all the call or that food. Yeah, Uncle Valo, yeah, I'm na agba m nonsense. You need to narrate
I
because
demand quite anybody na-ekwu ya.
How do we fix this now?
Can you hear me? Can you hear the
Yes, I
I
question?
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. Yes.
Okay, so Adora, it seems you can't hear Adora.
Yeah, but I can now. She can try then.
Okay,
Okay,
am I
Adora, go on.
okay.
Can you?
Better now. Better.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, I say no na anya m na agba m no. Ka ị na-narrate everything narrate because it's indeed horrible. It is indeed horrible at this point and makes you wonder. Kedu nnọọ as in ọla ndị a emuru anya ndị nọ n'isi ọchịchị na Anambra steeti a na-alara ụla. What is going on? Unu ada afụ ife na-eme m, you know? And it's yeah, enwere m ike understand ya because this is not Anambra steeti anyị bịakwa bịa malụ. Anambra steeti kwa a na-emezi ihe ọ dịzie ka child's play.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm also from Anambra State, Navy South to be precise. The last election you ran, I didn't support you. Very sorry about that. But after that, I decided to start supporting you since last year. And I hope if you are going to run, because we don't know, you will win. But I want to also ask an issue. At first, you talked about compassion. This one is like a personal question to you, sir. Do you remember one person that I know you used to be one of your good supporter, Afebo Kamsi Yochukwu, and I remember you attended his burial. Also now your key supporter na social media, Facebook then, when as election, last election. And the problem here that time was accident, and it was basically due to the horrible situation of Anambra State Road. And I also want to know if you think that those particular problem has been solved after that incident, because or if it's not solved, what do you think can be done about it? Because it was a very difficult and sad situation in that particular moment. Then, secondly, the question actually to go follow up to that outside that is on this security anyị na-ekwu okwu ya. You have highlighted certain things and well, that are supposed to be done. But my own question is this. Soludo, the present governor, when he became governor, one of the first things he told us was that many of the people who commit a crime are not from Anambra State. I don't know what that means because there is no law restricting people from moving from one place to another in the states, within Nigerian states. And there's no law restricting people from, and also you should also know that people are permitted to live and vote where they work and where they find necessary. So I want to ask you, do you think that this particular, because his commissioner of information, Another Space, and repeated this same nonsense, and he went on to say up to 70% of people committing crime are not from Anambra. Do you think that this thing poses any danger? Because ihe m achọghị ikwu bụ sometimes some ndị Anambra now ibido chụwa ndị mmadụ, or like ibido this hostility, like because anyị na-afụ a failing security situation. Then you feel a government that is pointing hand on certain people. And ọ bụrụ onye bi na Anambra, the person exactly knows ndị ọ na-appoint aka to, so that we don't begin to have some kind of mmadụ ibido n'ụwa ọgụ enweghị isi n'ọdụ, like Anambra against non-indigenous. Do you see that as a threat, or what other dangers of this particular type of comment do you see? Because for me, I feel that beyond the comment being divisive, I think that comment actually poses serious security threats beyond what we are even seeing, knowing that what we see in Anambra today is not something that we can even, is not something that we are even able to talk about. It's very shameful that we have a government that is so indifferent about security. But I just want to know, what do you think are the dangers of those particular comments? Because he said it again, and I believe that it's something that they have been saying and re-saying. Because why would he still come up yesterday and say something like that in a public forum? And he's a commissioner of information. Thank you, Mr. Val.
Okay, thank you so much, Chukwudi. And let me also deeply appreciate you for being honest enough to tell me you didn't support last time, and this time you started. I want to appreciate you deeply. Actually, when anybody supports me, he's actually supporting himself. That's why I say this. And I only have a rescue mission. Now, about Kamsi, may he so rest in peace. Oh, a young man that I had so much, love for. And so it was such a tragedy for me. And this is why I haven't stopped keeping in touch with his mother. Ejua Mamioga Agwagedas now. Even if he doesn't hear from me on a monthly basis, he will at least get, no matter how little, some alerts consistently on a monthly basis. And there's nothing I can do to bring back his son, but Nyengeme Inyaka, to at least bring a bit of succor and comfort. I'm happy to do so. And here, Bulie, like you noted, bad roads and I think it was Jele Enugu, Nanata from Enugu, something like that. And then it happened. Amaromo, Halarola, Amaromo, I just can't tell the exact thing that happened, but how terrible the roads were. And which you can see that some of the roads are being done, although we all question two things about the roads being done. One is about the standard being quality and qualitative enough, and two is about the issue of accountability. We hear all kinds of things. Contractors are lamenting. When they get paid, some people begin to demand 30%, 40% kickback. And what that does is to limit our ability to do more. And eventually, we may end up doing substandard because we are impeding on the ability to channel the resources appropriately. And then let's come to the issue of the blame game that this government is used to. Once you see failure in leadership, the next thing they resort is looking for who to blame. And like I keep saying, HR, banye politics, but the moment I stopped blaming people, other people about what is going on. Why are we being looked down as black people in the world? Why are things going so bad in this part of the world, unlike other parts? How come others have moved on? Mgbe aha mbido ikwu nkata ifu ndị ga na-eblame non-colonial masters njụọ ha ọsọsọ anyị nwa ka ecolonizere ka ihe meziri na ndị ọzọ colonize anyị na ha move on. How come nke anyị ka bụ the same blame? And by the way, why did we even allow ourselves to be colonized? Ka anyị na-enye no more excuse that. Move on from that. Ụfọdụ asị gị no civil war, ụfọdụ asị gị nọ nka a na-achọ onye a na-eblame. Nsị mba n'ọkwa na anyị nwa bụ ndị ada eme even ndị ọ bụ sef anyị na ha ama ihe ada close to politics ka ezi mgbe ndị ezigbo mmadụ ebe Bible kwu nọọsụ until ndị ezigbo mmadụ abanye into governance onwe ihe ga-echange kpee ekpere kpee a na until ndị ezigbo mmadụ abanye into politics nothing will change. Ka ntinye ike n'isi mmadụ nke m ga-eme were Anambra nye example. That's why so I started assuming responsibility. What any good leader must do is to assume responsibility because the solution starts with you. So you've got to see, I'm failing. Where am I failing? What am I not doing right? But a project government they will look for who to blame. As non the Ozon Dimba, name, as non doka, now Makaito as they preach, as non the IPOP, and I turn down they blame, bet themselves. And that's why there's no hope for our redemption. Ihe a na-echezi bụ ka tenọ ndị a bụzi ka ha naba ka anyị chọọ ihe ọzọ anyị ga-eme dezi Anambra State. Period. And what is even worse is what you've highlighted here, the divisive nature of this blaming. Maka mgbe ọ bụla ị ga-asị nọ ndị Abakaliki nọ ndị nka make Anambra uncomfortable for criminals. Ebe ọsọ gị si north, ọsọ gị si west, ọsọ gị si Niger Delta, ọsọ gị si anywhere. Just make Anambra uncomfortable. When you fortify here, in Hamalo that na ime kpakam here ejide gị ha gba ọsọ ha chọọ ebe ọzọ bili ihe Peter Obi mere here. The moment ọ batalụ ọfụ na na-eme nka o jide proceeds of ndị lụrụ ụlọ from crime o ji kwatu ụlọ ha ọ chọwa onye nka nche agbara ọsọ onye na-ala agbara ọsọ akpọrọ ụmụnne ya na-agba ọsọ o etu Anambra kwesịrị ịdị ebe a nwere any business with criminals because anyị bụ ndị na-agba mbọ anyị bụ ndị eji ama atụ anyị bụ ụmụ Juu ndị kansi afọ anyị bụ ndị Chukwu gọziri agọzi ji aka ha gọzie ọfụma. So what I say is to everybody here is the divisive nature of this this blaming is even terrible because you're on a treat to I got to in a hisi ndị melai because from Ebonyi when this boom maduna from Enugu when this boom maduna from northern person when this boom maduna mana honestly no boy a criminal treat him or her as a criminal so you can look for more people to blame. Dalo.
So my people, that is it. I hope you guys had everything Mr. Val said in this particular video. Like, that was a very long conversation. I couldn't even put all the videos here because our people do not want to watch long videos. But I hope you really, get one or two things from everything that he said here concerning the insecurity that is going on, especially in Anambra State. And I would love you guys to leave your thought in the comment section about everything that he said in this particular video. Please don't forget to subscribe if today is your first time here, and also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be the first person to be notified. Share the video to your friends and family and give this video a thumbs up as well. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.
Welcome to Shamra Seniors TV.